So it's like we usually gathers in a group and what we call is a panchayat. We do a panchayat and my friends, yeah, truth and dare. We usually play truth.
Yeah, we do have lots of fun. We even bunk lectures. That is also the part of the engineering life that often turns memorable in the end.
So hey guys, welcome back to another video. यार आज की जो वीडियो है वो होने वाली है ऑन द केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग. What is chemical engineering and what do you basically study in the chemical engineering? All your doubts will be cleared today. So today we have Himani ma'am and Ishan sir. They are our final year seniors of HBTU. They will clear all of your doubts. So let's begin with our video. Ma'am and sir, please tell something about yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Himani Agrawal and I'm final year undergraduate student majoring in chemical engineering from HBTU Kanpur. So speaking about myself, I'm under the top 1% of my class from the past 4 years. And apart from this, in my spare time, I love to read and write poetries. And currently I have finished my internship from ExxonMobil Chemical India. And due to my performance, I got the pre-placement offer and will be joining the company from the next year. That's all about me.
Hello everyone, I'm Ishan Srivastav. I'm a final year undergrad student majoring in chemical engineering. Well, I've got a lot to tell about myself, but I'll be a little confined. Telling about my internship, I've interned ONGC. That was a remote internship. And my second intern was at IIT Roorkee. That was a research intern. Apart from this, I love to write content and watch Indian cricket. And that's it from my side. Thank you.
So sir and ma'am, can you please tell what do basically study in the chemical engineering?
That's a great question actually. So in chemical engineering, basically it's involved a practical and industrial approach. So starting first of all from a first year is basically more towards creating a base of mathematical part, and second year majorly revolves around the base of chemical engineering, where we need to know what actually chemical engineering is and what are the subjects that would actually cover chemical engineering in a future industry area. The third year is more involved towards the core chemical part, where we need to know what are reactors and how we design the reactors and what are the safety protocols we need to follow during a chemical process actually. And final year is majorly involved towards all the things that we have learned in these 3 years to implement it in a better way in the form of a life project. So that's from my side. So I'll pass it to Ishan so he'll clear it in a more better way.
Yeah, actually, as what Himani mentioned, that was truly, very much authentic. I would like to add that if you say in a layman language, then what basically happens in chemical engineering is, in your first year, you study general engineering subjects that is common to almost all of the branches, here in HBTU precisely. There may be the shuffling that whatever subjects you are studying as a chemical engineer in your first semester, that the other person of the core engineering branches like that of CSE will study in the second semester. That only happens, but the subjects are all common. Wherein as you go into your second years, your core chemical engineering starts, precisely chemical engineering. Then you study subjects like that of fluid mechanics, heat transfer, etc. What basically happens is chemical engineering is about the processes. Now, if you talk of any process, then what actually happens is you need to just quantify, you need to use some parameters into it. So defining the parameters is the part of the second year curriculum, whereas using the mathematics in order to solve them is the part of the first year curriculum. When you get into your third years, you just get into that control part, or the basic reaction, or the into the microscopic sense you go. You study the subjects like that of CRE. Then at the end in your sixth semester, you study subjects like instrumentation, process control, where you need to just have control over the process. And in your final year, what you basically do is you just implement all of the whatever you have done the courses. You just implement through the final year projects, through the seminars, through the intern which you may do, and that is basically what constitutes the entire chemical engineering curriculum.
And ma'am, what type of projects and what projects do you do in your chemical engineering?
So projects are basically assigned to us in third year in the form, no, not in the third year. Basically, it's in the final year in the form of industrial report, and the project that costs us around 4 credit in the 7th semester and 10th credit in a final semester. That is the 8th semester. So this project is basically more inclined towards your interest, first of all. And if you don't have any interest, like some people don't actually know what their interest actually is, so our faculty usually guide us. So project is more towards like what I think is that towards majorly towards chemical engineering, like designing of some sort of plants, like pilot plant, like designing of an ammonia plant or etc. And apart from this, it's nowadays that environmental issues are more concerning. So it could be towards environmental related issues like towards sustainability, etc. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, so adding to what Himani mentioned, the projects are not just confined that you only do in your final years. Even when you intern any company, like she interned ExxonMobil, our batchmate Aman Anjum, he just interned Swiss Water Technologies. So it also depends upon the domain on which that company is actually aligned to.
Yeah.
Several companies have got their projects related to water treatment. Some companies have got like that of DCM Bharuch. They are usually the production unit of some chemical compound, that may be caustic soda or whatever it is. Some may be like ONGC, to which I interned, that was entirely based upon drilling of crude oil, that is extraction, of how the extraction is basically done. So largely I would say, on a broad sense, the projects in the chemical engineering are related to the production. That is not just confined to the chemicals, that may be petroleum, that may be the treatment of water. Okay, that's it.
Can you add something about why you should prefer chemical engineering in HBTU as college? What fascinated you the most?
Well, talking of chemical engineering, it shouldn't be like that chemical engineering of HBTU, since it is a life decision. You just set up your career in that field. So it should be more like that. You should be clear with that why chemical engineering. Basically, my choice of chemical engineering was because right from the day you start in the morning, you just play with the chemicals. You just put off that morphine. Again, you just go freshen it up. Excretion, that is also the part of chemicals. You just come to college, you use transportation, part of chemical. So more or less, like whole of the day, if you count up, you're just revolving around chemicals. You're running on chemicals. Okay, so basically studying them, getting the practical knowledge out of it, the production of them, the optimization, what kind of efforts, and how the things are being laid up in order to produce them. So that was my basic inspiration towards it. And precisely talking about HBTU as of now. So HBTU was always known for chemical since it is completing its 100 years. Yeah. You just Google it off. You'll find a couple of branches: chemical engineering and computer science. That both are the most famous branches. So that was my decision, my inspiration. What happened?
Actually, I remember the day when I was using YouTube and was searching the most famous colleges of chemical engineering. So there were 3 to 4 colleges, and HBTU was in the 4th number. So yeah, we can't ignore the fact that HBTU has completed its legacy of 100 years, and having a strong alumni network along with a strong chemical engineering domain is actually what prefer us, or precisely me, to opt chemical engineering in HBTU.
My next question is about the daily life of the chemical engineer.
So I'll pass it towards Ishan. He'll explain it in a more better way.
So please further add about the hostel life and this type of thing.
Yeah, for sure. What I guess is that she should answer it first, as because she was the topper of our batch, and she is the topper of our batch. But yeah, I would take it first. Considering chemical engineers in HBTU precisely, in the first year, as we mentioned already, that we don't have such amount of curriculum into it. We just study the general engineering subjects. While coming into the second years, yeah, the core subject starts and lectures, usually 3 to 4 happens, that to the core chemical ones, alongside labs, couple of labs, or maybe one. And when you get into your pre-final years, that is the third year, yes, the complexity of the subjects exceeds up, and you need to put in more efforts. But talking about general sense, apart from academics, yeah, we do have lots of fun. We even bunk lectures. That is also the part of the engineering life that often turns memorable in the end. Fine. So that is also the part. And whenever you are doing engineering, you'll certainly enjoy your 4 years. That will be the most memorable 4 years of your life.
I can add something about the hostel life actually, because I'm a hosteler and he's a day scholar. So in the hostel life, being in a girls' hostel is more towards creating a memory than having a lot more fun. So it's like we usually gather in a group and what we call is a panchayat. We do a panchayat and my friends, yeah, truth and dare. We usually play truth and dare. And so yeah, in chemical engineering, being a part of a chemical engineering family is like feeling pride, because HBTI is known for its chemical engineering actually. So yeah, it's a lot more fun and getting knowledge as well.
Ma'am, how's our labs of HBTU?
So in chemical engineering is basically what I told is more towards a practical or industrial approach. So our college curriculum is based on the same. From second year onwards, we started to have some implementation towards our lab. So second year is more towards fluid mechanics and heat transfer lab, where we get to know what actually how fluids actually work, what's the pipeline system, etc., etc. And in heat transfer, we need to know what actually is conduction, convections, and radiations, which are actually the base of a chemical engineering domain. And our labs are well functioned and well furnished as well. So yeah, so it's basically stronging our base towards chemical engineering. And in third year, it's basically towards CRE labs and all, where we need to know how the designing of a reactor, etc., etc. And finally, IPC lab also, yeah, where we need to controllers and instrumentation works. And final year is not more towards lab, it's more towards our approach, how we actually combining all these in the form of our results.
So, ma'am, what about the professors of HBTU?
So professors in HBTU, or formally we could say as HBTI, are very experienced. There are many professors who have done their graduations or degree in 1980s and 1998 also, and they're teaching us. So they have wide varieties of experiences and knowledgeable, and have in-hand experience of many industries as well for 15 to 20 years. Currently speaking, my mentor is basically Dr. GL Devnani. He's very supportive and he's a faculty of HBTU itself. And he guided me throughout my journey of these 4 years. Starting from my second year, he built my base of chemical engineering. And in third year, he guided me how to move towards more realistic and practical approach. And in final year, he is guiding me further for my future careers as well. So faculty in HBTU are basically supporting, knowledgeable, and yeah, helpful as well.
So, sir and ma'am, can you please add further about the placements about in HBTU?
Certainly, actually, placements are the foremost thing for a BTech student. Actually, maybe around 50% of what the student actually aspires to. Precisely talking about the chemical engineering placements, we have got ample of opportunities. Actually, the batch size, like as a final year student, means 22 pass out. We are a batch strength of 53 students. Okay, so out of 53 students, I guess all of those candidates who are eligible will get an opportunity. It entirely depends upon them that whether they want to pursue it or don't. But yeah, you get an opportunity at HBTU if you precisely talk of chemical engineering. Listing few of the chemical companies, we have got companies like ExxonMobil, PI Industries, SRF, Jubilant Life Sciences, Jubilant Ingrevia. We even have got PSUs, BPCL, GAIL, and many more opportunities which a chemical engineer actually aspires to. And apart from this, I would like to, if precisely I need to mention the stats, I would say that around 90 to 95% batch of chemical engineering gets placed, and that is far more what a student aspires to.
Ma'am and sir, this college provides us opportunities for higher studies or like preparation for GATE and like CAT and higher exams.
Yeah, the answer is definitely yes. Our college do provides an opportunity, an ample opportunity actually, for the preparation of some competitive exams like GATE, CAT, and listing few like UPSC as well. So it's like we have some sponsored coaching centers. For example, the Times, which is actually a good coaching for CAT. So our college provide that also. Times actually comes in our college to mentor the student, to guide the students what actually the procedure is and how they need to study, how they need to manage the time for their CAT exams. And apart from this, our college also provides some of the mentorship, or we could say has counseling in the form of GATE, that if a student have got a good score in GATE and you need to prepare for the interview, our faculty actually guide us. In this way, you could actually prepare. And yeah, there's an ample of time in your engineering life, so it actually depends upon you that how you consume your time or how you utilize your time for further studies.
She covered exams like that of GATE and CAT. Okay, so as Himani told about the exams like that of CAT and GATE, which are in the very much beat, or say, I would discuss something about the offbeat exams, which are not that much. You won't find that much aspirant in your batchmate. So first, the very first examination is of GRE. If you want to pursue masters from abroad, so there's an exam called GRE. And as far as our college is concerned, we don't have that much amount of aid into it. But also, GRE is not an exam in which you want a mentorship or something. You get guidance from the professors, and that is much more what is actually needed. So GRE is something, if you want to come into the chemical engineering and go for the masters from abroad, then certainly you can think it of. Since you are getting into a government college, so you certainly have that capability of doing things on your own. And apart from this, if you could talk of UPSC, then UPSC is seriously your self-sincerity and self-preparation, I would say, apart from coachings that you take. So, and also the time management, yes, precisely. And apart from this, if you consider the defense examinations, that is CDS and all, that is also your self-discipline and time management and, your physique and all that matters. So altogether, I would say, yeah, college does supports the way in which it can. Thank you.
So please, ma'am and sir, can you further tell about the your future plans and any tips for us and the students that are coming in HBTU?
Yeah, sure. That is actually, it will be very fruitful to the juniors that are coming. Considering me, as of now, what I am, planning for myself is, I want to get into corporates. I want to take a work ex of 1.5 years, get some industrial thing into me, and thereafter go to pursue masters from abroad. So that is what my plans are, and Himani will tell hers. Apart from this, I would like to tell, as you mentioned about the tips, I would say that you may heard rumors like that CGPA doesn't matter, and BTech is the life where you can just chill out and all. So yeah, chilling is a part of BTech life, but that is not the foremost thing you should come here and do. You should be sincere enough. You should know that for what reason you are here actually. Okay, and yes, CGPA does matters. I am in the TNP cell. I seriously know we just send the database to the companies, and we know that what kind of criteria they set up. Not in your just the BTech life, but yeah, they also include your 10th and 12th grades. So that actually matters. So please don't come into this thing that CGPA won't matter, just the extracurricular things matters. Extracurricular also plays a very important role. I would say that if you mention, since because you are an undergrad student, so you don't have got enough things to mention it in your CV. So these extracurricular activities like that of participating into any events that are being organized under any fest or something, or the part of any college committee or cell precisely, that also plays a very important role. But yeah, don't just always get into these things. Make your academics a priority, and other things just revolve it around it. That will be the my piece of advice.
Coming to my future goals are actually that I need to move towards a corporate life. So I'll be joining as an ExxonMobil employee, and I'd love to be a part of an ExxonMobil. So there's no further future plans, just to work for a company and utilize its resources in a better way, so that I should give something more productive to a company as well. And apart from this, the tip that I would like to mention is that in my 4 years of BTech, what I realized is that we should further know what we're actually doing after those 4 years. Means, and a junior should realize in a third year, more precisely I can say in a second year, that what he need to do in his after final year. Like some are still confused that they need to go for further studies or they need to get and enter into the corporate world. So you have a clear mindset of that. Apart from this, explore yourself, enjoy your career, enjoy your BTech life, enjoy your graduation life. Yeah, these days will never come back. So yeah.
Guys, this is the first episode of our series where I will cover all the branches of engineering. So please like and comment to this video and share it to your friends. And yes, don't forget to subscribe the channel for more educational videos like this. Thanks. Stay tuned. Stay blessed. Bye bye.